So complex fractions, again, as you can see, there are, when we use the term complex fractions, we're talking about a fraction of a fraction. But you can see that also they are more complex in the sense of being a little more difficult. Prior to this, on complex fractions, all we've had to do is keep flip change. Now we're going to have some steps before that we need to take care of. So before we can use KFC, what do we need to do to the top? Yeah, we're adding fractions on top, so we need to find a common denominator. Luckily for us, we already have one, don't we? The common denominator will be W. So what should this thing look like? I disagree with that. I disagree with that. I disagree with that. Not C over W, and not 1 C over W, but yeah, don't forget we're adding here, not multiplying. 1 plus C all over W. And that over 1 over C. Caitlin, what's 1 times 5? What's 1 plus 5? Adding 1 does change the value. Multiplying by 1 doesn't. We're adding, not multiplying. Okay, we get to this point. We have our common denominator. So first step, find the common denominator. What do we do now? Bring it to the top. What do we do when we bring it to the top? Flip it, and we change it to multiplication. So it becomes, the denominator becomes C over 1. No. Well, Megan just asked this question a minute ago. We have a quantity on the top left, right? 1 plus C. What do we do to it, Megan? Put in parentheses. So I want to make this the quantity 1 plus C times over W. In this case, we can just make it W because we are multiplying. No. If you're adding, you wouldn't make it C squared either. What does C squared mean? C times C, not C plus C. Yes, it's not alone, right? We're multiplying it by not just a C, but times the quantity. So it's better to leave it as a quantity than to do something, like you were suggesting, Caitlin. C squared. Well, there's more to it than that, right? So by trying to not make it a quantity, you open yourself up to making unnecessary mistakes. Okay, so notice the pattern here, though. Common denominator, and then KFC. Alright, second example. One over M plus 5 all over 2 over M minus X over M. So hopefully you recognize, again, the first step should be to do what? Common denominator. What should it be on top? M. So what do we need to do to this term? Yeah, we should think of it as being over 1. What do we do to it, though? What operation do we do to it? Multiply it by, not just M, Caitlin, Nope. Nope. M over M, right? Multiplying it by the same thing on top and bottom. What about on the bottom? Our common denominator should again be M. So here, we already have the common denominator. We can just combine it into one fraction. So, what should we get in the numerator? One plus 5m over m, good. What should we have in the denominator? Good. So first step, get the common denominator. Not yes, but not yet necessarily, Keaton. I think you'll see why in a second. But good question. No, we don't need to put 1 plus 5m in parentheses. Okay, so first step, common denominator. Second step, yeah, KFC, right? So this we want to bring to the top and flip it and multiply. 1 plus 5m over m times m over 2 minus x. Now, before we multiply here, and this is what Keaton was asking, yeah, if we have 1 plus 5m times m, we need to do what with 1 plus 5m? Put it in parentheses. However, we're multiplying fractions. When we multiply fractions, we should always check to do what? Cancel. Do we have a cancellation we can make? Yeah, look to cross cancel. M and M. No, because one's on top and one's on bottom, right, Keith? So we don't multiply m times m, we cancel m and m. Ah, I gotcha. No. Just that same question Caitlin just asked a minute ago. We're multiplying by the quantity, not just by that single term. Yes, it would be. 1 plus 5m over 2 minus x. Alright, one more that's not quite as simple. Nope. This is it. Complex fractions. Ax to the negative first plus by to the negative first all over x to the negative first. So what do we see in this one that we didn't see in the previous two? Not only exponents, but they are you're right there, Keith. It's only one fraction, right? I agree with that, so that's a problem too. What do you notice about all three exponents? Exponents. They're all negative in particular. Right? They are all -1, but the key fact here is they're all negative. So what should we do to them first? Yeah, make them a denominator, right? Now the key here, where most people make a mistake on these problems, is they want to take this and move it down here. We don't want to do that. We want to make this the denominator of the numerator. So it should be a over x plus b over y. On bottom, what should we have? Yeah, the denominator should be 1 over x. So we make these not, we don't put them into the denominator, we put them into the denominator of the numerator and the denominator of the denominator. Yes, Ryan. Does a have a negative exponent? No, so we need to keep it in the numerator. So no, we don't make it 1 over ax, we make it a over x. We only put the thing with the negative exponent in the denominator. Like I said, put this in the denominator of the numerator and the denominator of the denominator. Don't put it in the overall denominator. Hopefully once we get to here, you say that looks familiar. What do we need to do on top? Common denominator. Multiply by. Good. Y over y. Multiply by. What should that simplify to? Good. AY plus BX over XY. And our denominator still is 1 over X. Next step. And we call that KFC, right? When multiplying fractions, we check to what can we cancel out this time? I think you're right. The X's. Leaving us with the final answer of very good. AY plus BX all over Y. So, with complex fractions, 3 steps really. First, check to, and this comes from the last problem we did. What do we have to check to do first? What was the first step we did in the third example there? Before that. Oh, we only did it in the third example. You gotta check to make all exponents positive. Second thing, this one we did in all 3. We had to find a common denominator. And then the last thing, which has been common to all the complex fractions problems we've done, is to that's part of this step, but what's the step in general? Yeah, KFC. Now we do need to check to cross cancel when we do that, but that one always happens, but the KFC should always happen. So 3 steps there to simplifying complex fractions.